Hello friends, welcome to the video number 18 for the Python 3 series. And well, in this video we're gonna be talking about tuples. And well, tuples are very similar to lists. The main difference between a list and a tuple is that, well, as we saw on the previous 3 or 4 videos, lists are mutable, meaning that they can be changed, and we made a lot of change to some of the lists we work with. So now we're gonna see that the tuples, even that they look the same or pretty much the same, is just a set of values assigned to a variable, and they are separated by commas. They cannot be changed. They are immutable, right? So once a tuple is defined, you cannot add, remove, change. You cannot even sort the elements in the tuple, right? Once it is defined, that's it. It's final. They are set, and you cannot go around changing or trying. You can try to change the tuple, but you're gonna get errors. So that's the main difference between a list and a tuple. um, so in this case, let's try. For example, I have the list here, right, as we did it before. Just use the square brackets to define the list, and then I have the exact same elements but as a tuple. Now we can define the tuple actually without parentheses. They are optional, they are not required. What makes a tuple, or the way that we define or tell Python, okay, this is going to be a tuple, is the commas, right? Separating the values with the commas is what is going to tell Python this is a tuple. So let's just print my tuple. Ah, there it is. Now, as you can see, Python returns it to me, but with a parenthesis. Now, the parenthesis is going to make it much more uh, readable or clear to see that, okay, this is a tuple. So I recommend that you use the parentheses, even that you don't need them. It's again, I think it's just better. And just in case, remember, these are parentheses, these are brackets or square brackets, and these are braces or curly braces. Well, you can call them whatever you like, but just for you to know, this is how I call them. So this is how I'm gonna be referring to them during the videos. Um, so if I try to do, I don't know, like append the number nine, to the tuple, save this and run it. It's gonna give me an error. Of course, I can do it with the list. I messed it up. There it is. Right, no problems. And well, again, you cannot change tuples. Um, However, what we can do with tuples, we can try some other things that do not change, right? For example, remember we saw the index. We can obtain the index of an element. So, for example, here I have a number 9. So I want to know where that 9 is. I'm gonna leave it there, right? So it's in position number 3, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. There is my 9. I can use the count how many nines I have in my tuple. I have 2 number 9s. We can get elements from the tuple using the square brackets. So I wanna go to element. Well, the first element, right? It's gonna be the number 3 right here, and I can request the last element as we did with lists. Is the number 8. I can get a slices, right? Give me from position 3 to position 8. Let me get rid of this thing, right? So there is my slice of the tuple. And well, some other thing that we can do this also with lists. I think I didn't cover it, but well, you can do this with tuples or lists. You can obtain the maximum value in a tuple or a list again. Right, so give me the maximum value inside of my tuple. So it's the number 9, and of course I can ask for the minimum value, number 1. We can also, we saw that we can, for example, concatenate. Remember, using the plus sign, we can add the list to the list to the list, or the tuple to the tuple to the tuple. But we can also multiply lists and tuples. For example, I want my tuple returned 5 times, so there it is. We can also do multiplication, and we can also test for uh, pertinence, or I want to know if an element exists inside of my tuple or my list. So in this case, I want to know, for example, if the number 6 is inside of my tuple. So I can say 6 in my tuple, and well, let's see, Python is going to tell us true. So okay, I have a 6. I don't have any zeros, so let's see, Python, is there a 0 in my tuple? Python is going to tell me false, you don't have any zeros. And of course you can say not in my tuple. So I want to test the 0 is not in my tuple. Well, I know this is true, so Python is going to tell me true. And if I go the other way, I know that I have a 6, so 6 is not in my tuple. Well, this is false, and there it is. Python tell me it is false. Now we can have empty tuples as we had empty lists. It's just put the parentheses with nothing inside of them. So this is our empty tuple. And again, as we said, what makes the tuple is the comma, not actually the parentheses. So to make a tuple with just one value, in this case it's just the number 1, we have to put 1 and comma, right? The element and the comma. So it gives me the tuple containing the element 1. If I remove the comma, it just gave me like let's say it's the integer number 1, but this is not the tuple, right? There is no parentheses around it. So again, put the comma, and there you have your tuple. And then now one thing, as we did with lists, we can have tuples with mixed values. Here I have 3 integers, and then I have a list, so there is no problem, right? There it is. And I can ask Python, what is the length of my mixed tuple? So it should tell me 4. I have 4 elements. Now what I'm gonna do is, okay, what I have on position number 3. I know that in position number 3 I have this list. So it tells me you have in the position number 3 you have a list. Remember, I tried before to do an append and I got an error. But now I can tell, okay, you are not gonna append something to my tuple, but you're gonna do it to an element inside of my tuple that can be modified. In this case is the I am accessing here the list, and I'm gonna append the letter D. So now I have it A, B, C, and D. So we are not actually modifying the tuple, right? We are modifying the list that is inside of the tuple. Okay, so this is very important. And well, I think that's it. We have covered, I think, everything that I wanted to cover in tuples. Very similar to lists, but again, you can modify lists. You cannot modify tuples. All right, so that's it for now. In the next video, we're going to talk about sets. And so, well, that's it. I hope you found this video useful. As always, thanks all of you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And, well, I hope to see you in the next video.